Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, December 9th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we'll get started shortly. So just a few things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Solid. All right, cool. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium real quick. Cool. All right, cool. People are making their way in right now. So I'll give it a few moments for people to join. Solid. Cool. So let's see who's here. Hey, Kenny. Morning. Looks like you made it on time today, Kenny. All right, guys. Good morning. Today is Friday, December 9th. Happy Friday, everyone. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. So I'll give it a few more moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started with our analysis shortly. So let's see what else I got to do here. Let me just post this link on the IG real quick. All right, cool. All right, solid. Looks like we're good to go. All right, guys. So it looks like people are still making their way in. I think there was news this morning. Let me check the news real quick. So looking over here on Friday, December 9th, there was news here at 5:30. There's news here at 7. So at 5:30, there was inflation news, core PPI and PPI. And then at 7, we have prelim UOM consumer sentiment. So let me go ahead and, I mean, you guys can see here, it's pretty obvious, this big spike candle down. That was a news candle. So I'm going to go and mark up news price right there. Go over here, markup news price right there. And then also, I'm gonna go ahead and mark up news price at 7:30. All right, so let's see how, obviously how price reacts to news here on market open. And from there, we'll we'll anticipate where we want to take the trades. So let me go over here and mark up overall direction real quick. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it is currently 65% short. Fundamentals are down 100 points. So 65 short. So 65% short, meaning that we want to take buys on the long term. Negative 100 points in the red. So there's a conflict right here because retail sentiment's indicating to take a buys. Fundamentals are indicating to take a sell. So let's go over here to the 4 hour real quick. 4 hour is bearish. 1 hour is bullish. So you guys can see there's a pretty big mix here. It's short term looks like it's starting to shift bullish, but long term is still pretty bearish. So the market is now open, guys. 15-minute is neutral. 10-minute is bearish. So it's a pretty mixed overall direction. Here we go as price pushes up higher. If this candle does close as a strong green candle, this will technically be the breakout for today. But since price is so indecisive on all the different time frames, including retail sentiment and fundamentals, I don't think I'll be taking it. I personally don't like taking the breakout as much anymore because there's just so much uncertainty in the market, with regard to direction of price. There's also a lot of red flags here. If we get a buy breakout over here, we have a bunch of sessions sitting up here, which are gonna qualify as obvious red flags. Hey Maria, morning. Morning Lisa, morning Rashida, morning everybody. So looking over here at US30, we don't have that strong green candle yet. If we get a strong green candle, meaning a green candle with little to no wick on the top side, that will technically be the breakout. But as I mentioned, I'm not planning on really taking it because of how the direction is going with regard to the longer time frames and the shorter time frames. Retail sentiment is currently 65% short. This indicates that 65% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So typically you want to do the opposite of them and buy long term, because majority of retail traders don't do well. So you want to do the opposite of them. Well, I personally do. So by looking at that long term, you want to buy. Looking over here at fundamentals, though, they are red and under 100 points. So this is going to indicate to take sells because the long term is bullish while the short term is bearish. 4 hour time frame over here is bearish, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 15 minutes neutral, and the 10-minute here is bearish as well. So there's a pretty mixed direction here with regard to all of the main time frames that we look at. So with that said, I'm going to sit out on this here specifically, but this over here may be an entry for us. Let's take a look at the 10-minute. Actually, it won't. So it doesn't meet the requirements here for a momentum scalp, unfortunately. However, it was looking like a pretty decent trade. Let me go and put the requirements here for the momentum scalp strategy. All right, so looking over here at the requirements, start off with step one. Step one, we want to confirm that we're trading in the direction of the overall trend. So looking over here on the 10-minute, you can see that this is bearish. It's bearish because price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and pivots are angling down. This is going to confirm that we're in a bearish downtrend on the 10-minute time frame. Looking at the same thing here on the 5-minute, we have the same setup. Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. So this is going to confirm that we are in a bearish downtrend as well. Lastly, here on the 1-minute, you guys can see right here that there is no confirmation on this time frame, right? So with that said, the reason why there's no confirmation is because price is not below the pivots, just like on the 5 and 10. The trend meter down here is blue, it's not red, and the pivots are also not angling down. So with the first requirement here not met, we can't move on to the second requirement, and we're going to be stuck at that for now. So first and foremost, we need to confirm that we're trading in the direction of overall trend. So until all of these line up, we can't move on to the next step. And it wouldn't matter because the next step and the third step isn't met either. So back over here to the 1-minute, still no entry for us to take at the moment. As you guys can see, price is super choppy right now. There is no clear direction at all. This here would technically be the breakout entry. But as I mentioned, I'm not going to take it. I'll mark it up for you guys and you guys can follow it, but I'm not personally going to take it myself. The reason why this here was the breakout was because we have a bullish momentum here, indicating that momentum is going to the upside. And then we confirmed here on this specific candle that there was a strong green candle there, right? Meaning a green candle with little to no wick on the top side. The wick on the top side right here is pretty minimal. So this will confirm that this would be an entry for the breakout. However, I'm not taking it because, for one, this candle right here is crossing through red flags. You can see the sessions right here, the London high, and also it's crossing through opening price right there as well. So I'm not taking this position here, but we'll follow it. We'll see if it plays out, and then we'll take it from there. So yeah, nothing for us to take here at the moment. Going back over here to the other time frames, we're still looking to confirm whether these here are going to meet our criteria. Yeah, Rashida said a market is moving so slow. Yeah, I know. A lot of it has to do with the news this morning. So you guys can see here at 5:30, there's like this huge drop that happened, right? The thing with this is that people are like really just waiting for like direction to be set because it still hasn't confirmed yet, right? After this big drop right here, whenever you see a big candle like this, price has two opportunities, right? Price is either going to correct back up and go back to where it was prior to news, or price can continue dropping back down. So price is just in a critical area right now because there's no confirmation as to what direction price can go with regard to the news that happened, at about an hour ago, because it's not even halfway yet. So the halfway mark of this candle is going to be somewhere around these sessions right here. So this is going to be one of the key price points to be looking at, this middle point, because when price reaches this point here, this will be the threshold for whether price is going to come back down or whether price is going to come up to the actual news price. So I think price will be a bit slow until it gets to this point. Once it gets to this point, then it'll pretty much choose its direction. So whenever you guys have a big spike like this, and we can even measure the candle, this candle here was huge. See inflation news at 5:30, PPI, core PPI. This thing dropped 4,000 pips. So you can only imagine how big a move that would be in comparison to the other candles right here prior to it. So it looks like the breakout here is about to hit full TP. If you guys are in this position, I do recommend moving your stop loss and profit. If you guys want to close out now, it's only a few pips away from full TP. So, but it looks like it's going to hit. So I would, if you are in this position, guys, I would move your stop loss and profit, right? And there you go, full TP. So if you guys took it, great. If you didn't, it's okay. I didn't take it myself. I'll just give an update in the group right here. It's not even count towards the trades because I didn't take the trades. I didn't take the trade. The only trades that we count towards the results are the ones that I actually take on the live session. The ones I take outside the live session, or the ones that are speculative, they don't count. So only the trades that I take. So I'm just going to show this here so that you guys can close it out if you guys are in the position. And if you guys have profits from that, go ahead and send them in. Otherwise, we will be looking for the next entry here. See, David over here said, closing the week with profit. So thankful to your analysis and wisdom. Take care, Sean. Have a great weekend. Definitely, David. We'll see you back here on Monday. So David over here locked in a total profit of 224 for the day. Nice work, David. We've got, Sisuk over here, locked in a total profit of 4,276 for the day. Nice work, Sisuk. All right, guys. So pretty decent profits to kick off today's trading day. If you guys took it, if you guys didn't, it's fine. I'm still waiting for the next one here. Again, back at the requirements over here, until we have an overall direction of trend, then there's not an entry that we have to take just yet. So looking at this over here, the 10-minute is still bearish, 5-minute is still bearish, 1 minute over here is bullish. These over here don't align. So until all of these here align, we can't move on to the next step. So we're still in step 1 over here, confirm trading in the direction of overall trend. Once we have that, we can confirm the momentum on the 10-minute, make sure that they all align. Same with the 3-minute. And then lastly, with the 4-minute over here, or with the, sorry, 1 minute, I said 4-minute, with the 1 minute over here to provide catalyst for entry. So for the most part right here, we're just waiting for the 1 minute to close below the pivots down here. Once this 1 minute candle closes below the pivots down here, this is going to confirm that we're trading in the overall direction of price. The reason for that is because this will finally align with the 5-minute and the 10-minute. When price drops below this point, it's going to turn red, right? Trend meter will turn red. Pivots will be angling down. This will confirm the trend to the downside. Once we confirm that, we need to look over here on the 10-minute for a sell signal. So it's not a big deal whether we get a sell or not. You know, I don't really care what direction price is going. I just want to make sure that everything aligns. So I'm not really biased for a sell and I'm not biased for a buy. Whatever the market gives us, that's what I'm going to run with. So that's one thing that a lot of people need to understand as well. I feel like a lot of people get too fixated on like one direction, right? Like if they're looking for a sell the entire, or like pre-market, if they see a sell for US30, they're going to be stuck on a sell. Like typically they're stuck on a sell for the entire day. And then you miss out on a lot of these buy opportunities. So what I'm looking for here is I'm just looking for the market to tell me where price is going. Once I've confirmed, you know, the overall direction for that specific time period, then I'll look for trades in that direction. You know, pre-market, we looked at the market possibly looking bearish, and I was like, okay, we'll look for this to come down. But if this swings to the upside, then I'm not opposed to looking for a buy. One of the reasons why I'm not really opposed to looking for a buy here is because we don't have sell momentums here on the 10-minute and 5-minute just yet. Also, towards the end of the year, typically price is bullish historically. So, you know, I don't mind if we have to look for buys here. However, I could go either way. So basically right here, you can see on the 1 minute price is finally starting to drop a little bit. You can see the trend meter is turning blue. So with it turning blue right here, this is going to start shifting, you know, in the other direction. So what I need price to do is basically close down here so that we can get a red sell signal. And then once we get that red sell signal, we'll confirm that, you know, price is starting to make its way to the downside with regard to momentum and with trend. Typically the 1 minute will be leading. So if the 1 minute is leading here, the 5-minute and 10-minute will follow. So right now we're just waiting for this to confirm. Once we confirm it, then we can look for trades in that direction. See who's here. Hey, Gary, morning. Morning, Douglas. Morning, Barack. Morning, David. Morning, Kevin. Morning, everybody. Just saw your guys' messages right there in the chat. But yeah, there's not really much for us to take at the moment. You know, we just got to be patient. The main thing with a lot of people too is that you guys have to wait for these trades to come to you, right? One of the big pitfalls that I see from a lot of people is a lot of people try to force trades. Like for example, right here, there's no direction. So there's no direction across the board for us here. So there's no reason for us to look for trades, whether it's a buy or a sell. You know, if I get a buy signal here, I'm not going to take a buy. If I get a sell signal here, I'm not going to take a sell because there just is no direction at all. Here's a clean chart over here. You can see price isn't really doing too much. I mean, realistically, price is slowly going to the upside. However, it's not really going up that strong. So you can see from this point here, like, yeah, while price is going up, it's actually also going sideways. There we go. So there's not really much going on here. I mean, price is realistically just ranging at the moment. It's slightly pushing to the upside, but it is ranging. So a couple key points to look at might be this area here, because if price does break above, it'll probably push up higher, but there's not really too much here to look at. You can see price broke into this range over here. I mean, if you want to count this whole area down here, you can do that as well. I mean, realistically, it's not really doing too much. So we'll see what we get here. But yeah, just as I mentioned, there's no confirmation here yet of overall direction of trend. If price decides to shift to the upside, then that's perfectly fine. We just need to wait for the 5-minute and 10-minute over here to push to the upside right here, right? So we're looking for two different scenarios here. We're either looking for the 1 minute to close below here, or we're going to wait for the 5-minute and 10-minute to close above here. So just got to wait for it. Once we get it, we should be good. All right, price is still pushing up from here. So as you guys can see on the 1 minute, price is pushing up higher and higher, which is perfectly fine. We're now going to be shifting from a possible bearish bias for the overall trend to the bullish bias here. The 5 minutes getting closer. It's not there yet. So it's got to be patient, wait for this to confirm. Once it confirms, we can start looking for buys here. Once it confirms on the 5-minute, then on the 10-minute. But we still don't have it here on the 10-minute as well. And this actually has to close above it. If it doesn't close above it, this can easily just bounce off these pivots and come right back down, right? So the key thing here is looking for these closes. You gotta actually wait for the candle to actually close above the pivots. It's going to confirm, whether it's going to break through or whether it's going to stay below. Yeah, Kevin said, I think it's going to trace that drop from the news. Yeah, and I can see that too. Looking over here at news price, it's currently at the midway point. So the thing with news here, guys, let me just clean this up a little bit. The thing with news here is whenever you guys get a big candle like this right here, and I'll turn off the indicators real quick, just to show you guys a quick rundown. So basically, whenever you guys have a big candle like this, right? Price will do one of two things. Price will either retrace up to the midway point, which is somewhere around here, right? Price will come up and retrace to the midway point. And once it retraces to this point here, there's one of two scenarios that follow. Once it reaches this point, price either continues to push up higher and retrace up to the actual price where news or price was prior to news. So this big drop happened right here at this point, right? When price gets to this point here, it does one of two things. It either comes back to retraces further to actual original price, or it'll just come back down. All right, so price is currently at a key point right now. We'll see if this ends up pushing up higher or whether it comes back down. The thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that there's another high impact news coming up over here at 7:30. So even if price does reach that point or gets near it, there's probably going to be a big push again right here at 7:30. But at the moment, there's two different scenarios here that can play out. It's not really an area that I like to trade in because it just can, it still hasn't confirmed the direction of price. So that's why it's super risky to be trading unless you have some sort of confirmation as to like where price is actually going to be going. So we'll see what happens next. Yeah, Kevin said price has been bullish for a while before that news hit. I think that was on purpose though, Kevin. Like whenever price does that in the pre-market stages, like Asia session and London, it's usually preparing for the big drop. We kind of already anticipated inflation here to be negative. I don't even know if the news was negative, but typically, whenever we get inflation news, it's actually positive. So it was up here. Core PPI and PPI was positive, and then price did the opposite. Typically, I think a lot of people were anticipating it to be good news. So that's why they kind of just manipulated price and dropped it down. So yeah, I do see possible correction here, but I don't know. I still think it's a bit of a mixed bag with regards to where price is going. That's the critical thing too about knowing about where inflation is going to be, because if you know where, if it's like pretty obvious, like if everybody knows that the news is going to be positive, then you probably want to do the opposite, because that's basically what the market makers do. I'm sure a lot of people try to stack up on some buys over here for US30, and then they ended up getting screwed when price dumped like 4,000 pips right here, because typically people don't have a stop loss that huge. This is way too big of a stop loss. Yeah, no, it's a 4,000 pip drop. It's huge. Yeah, exactly. Kevin said, I agree with that. The news was positive. So I think that was manipulation, in my opinion. Yeah, no, and I agree too, Kevin, 100%. That's why I see this over here with tracing up. But then again, the thing with this here is that I find this to possibly be another hit of manipulation, right? Because what happens here typically is price will dump like this. People will buy the dip, and they'll basically be thinking that price is going to come up. But then, there's always like an aftershock of manipulation. There's like one big spike, and then they'll give people some hope here that price is coming back up, and they spike it right back down and stop them out a second time, right? Or they just keep pushing them deeper and deeper in the red until they pull out. So once they pull out, then they can just push price for an actual correction, and then from there, that's the real move. So yeah, it's just not a really good. It's too risky. It's not really a safe opportunity to take either direction, because you're really just gambling here. Because I can see price going in either direction. You can see here price is coming right back down. I wouldn't want to mess with it. That's why I'm looking for this long-term direction over here on the higher time frames, because once you've confirmed it on the 5 and 10, this over here will align with the 1 minute, right? So if the 1 minute over here, if this is bearish and this is bearish, and then the 1 minute over here is continuing to the downside, then that will that'll help us really have a good idea as to where price is likely to go. Well, at least enough for us to take some sort of entry. Yeah, exactly. Kevin said, yeah, he's been caught in that before. Yeah, me too, Kevin. I've been burnt by a lot of these manipulative moves, and that's why I'm like pretty patient about the entries that I decide to take, because I don't want to get caught up in those moves again. Depending on how long people have been trading, you guys have probably been caught in this move too. There's been a phase where I used to trade news a lot, and over the years, I realized that it's not even worth it, because yeah, you'll get lucky every so often, but then a lot of the times you'll get caught in slippage, and you'll probably even like lose profit on a winning trade. That's happened to me too sometimes, where I use a tight stop loss, and then it ends up spiking a stop loss real quick, or the spread just gets super crazy for like a few moments, and then it spikes you out before it reaches your TP. Yeah, same here, Kevin. Kevin said he's already up a lot, so he's chilling. Yeah, same here. We've had a pretty good week so far. No losses this week. Looking over here at the USD CHF position, if you guys remember this, I called this, I believe during the live session the other day, and it hit full TP. So we were holding this trade for a long time. Actually, we had a pending order for this. So we had a pending order. Price was like above here. And then, so it came up during the live session. And then I put a pending order here for a sell. And then it filled it the next day. And then it finally came down and hit full TP. So if you guys took that trade there, the trade for that was right here. I called the signal over here on, I can't remember the day for this, but I called the signal here for USD CHF. It was a pending sell signal. Hit full TP right there. Unfortunately, I got stopped out during the swap spread. So when price was kind of bouncing around this area over here, the spread gets really wide during the swap spread, and it's closed me out at 272 profit. I was supposed to lock in 572. I was taking a 5% risk on my personal account, but then I locked in 3%, which is fine. Profit's profit. I forget that I should take off my stop loss during the swap spread, because I don't really trade Forex as much anymore. Or if I do trade Forex, I don't hold it into the swap spread typically. Usually my TP hits by then. So it's all good. It is what it is. But I did lock in pretty good profit. So this week so far, no losses. We have all straight wins with regard to my Forex trades, and all wins with regard to my US30 trades. Looking over here, at Narith just posted his profits, locking the total profit of 513. He took a partial move over there for the breakout. So great work right there, Narith. Jay over here as well took the breakout earlier. Total profit of 2,155 for the day. Nice work, Jay. We got Brock over here as well. Brock said, he said, hey, Sean, had to sell earlier, covered most of the day though. It was zigzagging upwards. He took a profit over here for a total gain of 3,356. Nice work, Brock. And then it looks like he took one more trade over here. He said, now good for the day. Took more successfully. A total profit of 5,560 for the day. Nice work, Brock. Great work, guys. So you guys did pretty good. Here's Kevin's account. Kevin's currently up 31,640 for the day. All wins, no losses. So solid profits for the day so far. And then his Hanko account over here, his personal account, locked in 2330. Nice. It's not bad, Kevin, especially since you're taking small lot sizes here on your Hanko. So pretty solid wins right there. If you guys have more profit to post up, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, we will continue to look for possible entry here. All right, so the 1 minute is finally making its way down. We need price to be below here for us to possibly have an entry. If price does drop below this point, trend meter down here should turn red, and then we'll see if this continues to move along in that direction. Looking over here on the 5 minute, we have a pending sell signal. So with that pending sell signal right there, if that closes, that's going to confirm momentum swing to the downside. But we need that to actually close. It can't be pending like that. Patrick had news in 5 minutes. Let me check the news real quick. Thanks, Patrick, for the heads up. Sorry, guys, it was 7 o'clock and that's 7:30. I put this at the wrong time. So we do have news coming up right here. This is great because this is going to cause price to move in a direction. And that's exactly what we're looking for here. I actually want price to push up or down because it's moving too slow right now. We need to have price actually move out of this range and push into either the upside or the bottom side. And I need this 5 minute candle over here to close as well. So I need that there to close. And I also need a sell signal over here on the 10 minute as well. So just waiting for a bit, being patient. Let's see. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah, I just saw your guys' message. Yeah, Patrick said, isn't news at 7? You're correct. Definitely. Jalon said mixed signals on all time frames, really. Yeah, I agree. Jalon, there's just nothing for us to look at right now specifically because there's just different, like looking over here on my markups, or not really my markups, but my overall direction, retail sentiments indicating take buys, fundamentals indicating take sells, 4 hours bearish, 1 hour is bullish, 30 minutes bullish, 15 minutes neutral. And the 10 minute here is bearish as well. So there's just no direction right now, which is fine. We just got to make sure we don't get caught up in kind of predicting where price is going, right? Instead of predicting, just wait for price to actually move and confirm, whatever direction that you guys are looking for. Let's see, question from Eric. Eric's asking, hey, Sean, do you ever hold your Forex trades over the weekend or do you close them on Friday? I typically, it depends. So if I'm taking them on my personal account and I'm looking at the overall direction and it looks like price is going to continue going in that direction, then I'll probably just hold it over the weekend. However, if it's a bit iffy, like say, for example, I'm looking on like the higher time frames and it looks like it's going opposite, then I'll probably just close it before the weekend for profit. If you're trading with FTMO or any of these funding companies, majority of these companies don't let you trade over the weekend unless you have a swing account. So you have to close them over the weekend or else you lose your account. Don't try it. I've tried it myself and I've lost a couple funded accounts trading over the weekend like that in the very beginning because I didn't really understand the rules. So yeah, it's really case by case, but for the most part, I typically don't like holding trades over the weekend unless it's like a small lot size. Like if I'm holding on to a Forex trade and I'm holding like a 2 standard lot, right? Then I'm going to close that trade. If I'm holding like less than a standard lot and I'm risking like, a couple $100, then okay, I'll probably hold on to it. But if I'm risking like, 500 to $1,000, I'm going to close that out with whatever profit I can get. Cause you usually get a gap up sometimes over the weekend. If something happens, like say, for example, the Ukraine war started and then you had a trade over the weekend. When you come back on Monday, your trade's either going to be super deep in profit or it's going to be super deep in the red. and it's probably going to have slippage where your stop loss isn't going to catch it on open because then spike so quickly. So just keep that in mind. You know, anything can happen over the weekend. Stock market could crash, recession could start. I don't know. There's a lot of things that can happen, and you probably want to be safer than sorry, you know, just to lock in a couple more $100. So yeah, I personally just close it out. Let's see, question from Eric. Eric's also asking, can you explain how the swap spread works? Yeah. So I'm not sure if you got caught in it too, Eric, or if you've been caught in it, but what happens is the market closes every day. You can't really see it here. Let me go on the shorter time frames, like say we'll go on the 1 minute. Here, let me go to a different chart because this one's all marked up. This one's marked up too. Let me just clean this one. I don't think we have a trade on this one. So guys, don't worry. We don't have anything for US30 right now, so we're not missing anything. News price right there. You see news price is pushing price way up. We'll just wait and we'll see how price reacts to it. Let me just show Eric real quick what the swap spread is and how it works. So it's not really as obvious here. I probably would have to show you on a different, I'm trying to remember what time does it close for Forex. I think it closes at 2 p.m., which would be 1400 hours. So over here, it actually connects. Typically, it's not going to connect like this if like there's a big move in between, or you can kind of see it right here. Okay, so let me just go to US30. I think it's more obvious on US30. Let's see. It's because price gaps between that period. I mean, it doesn't really gap, but there's a dead period where the market's technically closed. For some reason, the market's moving really, really, it's like connected here. Typically, it's not connected like this. Oh, like right here, you can see the price gap. It's a small gap, but it's not. But this typically happens every day because there's a swap in the market where the market's closed. So there's no data between, you can see right here, 1400 hours and 1500 hours. There's like literally no time between. You just skip between an hour. What happens is for Forex and pretty much all the markets, for the futures, it's not closed as much, but for Forex, there's usually like a gap in data, like right here where it's closed for like 2 hours. So the way that the swap spread works is that the market is swapping from Monday to Thursday and then from Thursday to Friday, same time every day around like 2 p.m. for Forex, and then around the same time for US30 for futures market. This is where the markets are closed for like 1 hour and there's no movement in the market. When there's no movement, there's no liquidity, right? So when there's no liquidity, the spread will go up like crazy. Like for example, for USD CHF, let me see what the spread's like right now. Okay, so the spread's like 3 pips, right? At that same time when the market's closing, the spread will move about like from 3 pips to like 14 pips or 15 pips. So the problem with this here was that, let's see if we can see it over here. You can't really see it here too. It's not too obvious, but typically, I'm trying to, I'll just take this off. We already hit our TP. So typically, if you're in a position, so say for example, price is down here, right? And your spread goes up to like 15 pips or something, because that's typically where it'll go up to. It'll go up. There's some assets where like the spread will go up to like 50 pips or like 30 pips because there's no movement in the market. Volatility is super low. So typically when you're taking a Forex trade into the swap spread, you're supposed to take off your stop loss and then put it back on when the market reopens. I forgot about that because I don't trade Forex anymore as much. I used to send out a reminder here too, but I just don't send it because we don't trade Forex as much. So I typically send out this message right here that says, reminder team, we recommend temporarily canceling and canceling any pending orders and removing your stop loss for any open positions during the swap spread to avoid getting automatically stopped out during this period. Once the swap spread is over, you can safely put your pending orders and stop losses for active positions back up. Swap spread starts at 2 p.m. and ends at 3 p.m. So during this period right here, what happened was I put my stop loss in profit. This is obviously not the position right here, but let me go on a higher time frame. Maybe we could kind of mimic what happened here. Okay, so say for example, we have an entry right here, right? My stop loss was in profit, like somewhere around here. We'll just move it a little close so it's a little more obvious, like right there, right? When price was down here, spread is like 2.7 pips, right? But what happens during the swap spread is that the spread gets up to like 30 or 50 points. So what happens is when you get down to that 2 o'clock period, the swap spread gets so wide that it automatically stops you out at your stop loss and profit. So that's kind of what happened with me over here, unfortunately. The trade over here was in profit. It was like down here. And then I moved my stop loss in profit because I was like, okay, price is probably going to hit our TP before market close. And then what happens is market closed at 2 o'clock and then price just spiked up and then it automatically closed me out right here. You can see the timestamp. It closed me out at 1:05 p.m. So it was like right before, or it was like around that time period where the swap spread was happening. So I should have made 572 off this trade, but I only made 272 because it closed me out early around this period right here. So super annoying, but it's all good. I still made profit on it. I mean, the key thing is that I made profit on it. So that's all that really matters. Anyways, if that doesn't make sense, Eric, let me know. I know it's a little confusing, but once you get caught in it a couple of times, you're going to be like, okay, this is like, it's not something that's like hard to understand. Because like sometimes you'll be confused why you get stopped out around 2 o'clock, and that's because the swap spread comes up and then the spread gets super wide. I think the spread for me came up over here to like maybe 30 or 40 pips. And obviously that's like enough to wipe out my my stop loss and profit. Anyways, guys, back to US30 over here. Let me go ahead and oh, thanks, Ross. Yeah, Ross actually put the description right there in the chat too. Ross mentioned swap is when the liquidity provider changes from New York to new liquidity provider. So it charges a fee between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Yeah, and it also does that too. It'll charge you a interest fee for holding the trade overnight. So that's another reason why I stopped trading Forex, because I kept getting stopped out. Well, not really stopped out, but I kept getting caught in those swap spreads. And I'm like, man, there's no point in holding trades, past 2 p.m. because the spread's going to be super wide and you're going to be in deep risk if the spread gets too wide. Because like, say, for example, you're holding a position that's like a 500 lot size, or not even 500, say like a 5 lot size. Each pip will be worth like $100. So if your spread goes up to like 20 pips, you're going to be down like $2,000. And it's not even because the trade's in negative, it's because the spread's just too wide. So anyways, let me just mark this up over here. News price was here at 7 o'clock. I'm kind of glad where price ended up being at that time, because now it's in between all these red flags. So it doesn't look like price even went anywhere. It pretty much just stuck within this area here. Yeah, no problem, Eric. There's a lot of these smaller concepts that I don't really focus on too much because they don't really affect us with our specific trades here on the live. But if there's any questions that you guys have that you guys are confused with, just let me know, and I'll try to explain it to you guys as much as possible. So right here at current price, there's nothing going on. There's still no direction here on the 1 minute. The range over here just got wider. Yeah, so here is the range right here, guys. Same range as earlier. It's just continued in that direction even further. So yeah, no direction here at all. Almost sideways movement. Yeah, Madhu said ranging between 33,800 and 33,700. Yeah, no, that's exactly where it's going, Madhu. So key thing here to look for is when price actually breaks out of this area. So let's go back and take a look at our requirements again over here. As you guys can see, still no alignment with regard to overall trend. So step one over here, confirm trading in the direction of overall trend. We don't have an overall trend yet. The 10-minute here is still bearish. Price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. Same with the 5-minute over here. Price is still slightly below the pivots. Pivots are angling down and the trend meter is red. And then lastly here on the 1-minute, this here does not align with it. If this was down below here, trend meter is red and price was below pivots with them angling to the downside, then we would have requirement 1 met. But this is bearish, and this is bullish. So we can't get past step 1 and we can't move forward with our strategy here, at least not yet. So, gosh, yeah, Kevin said he has buy stops waiting above in anticipation of the move if it happens. His broker charges crazy swap fees, so I don't hold trades into times that'll be charged swap fees. Yeah, I typically don't trade into the swap, just like Kevin, right? So just keep in mind, like, well, I mean, it wouldn't even matter to you guys because we only trade live from like 6:30 to 8. So if you guys are only trading during the live sessions, it wouldn't matter because the swap happens like at 2 p.m. So by that time, we're done trading. Usually my cutoff for entering trades is noon anyways. So it's not really going to affect us specifically. I think it only affects you guys if you guys try to hold trades into the next day, which typically is not recommended anyways. All right, the 5-minute is still making its way to the upside, which is perfectly fine. If this pushes to the upside, which we were looking for earlier, and closes above the pivots here, then this would be a confirmation of, a buy or price swinging to the upside. Same here with the 10-minute, looking for price push up here. But until we get that, we're pretty much just waiting. Medusa, the 3-minute candle that closed at 10 a.m. after news, rejected off 33,700, marked it up just to see if it would have hit for 500 pips. Nice. Yeah, did it end up hitting, Medu? I don't know. I think you're ahead of time. That's why. Because you said 10 a.m. It's like 7 a.m. for me. So I think you might be ahead in time. You might be 3 hours ahead of me. Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. So the markup that Medu did. Oh gosh. Okay, yeah. So you're actually, you're just 3 hours ahead. So it's 10:12 for you. So basically 7 o'clock my time. Oh, nice. So you cut the bounce down here, right? I can see here on the 1. Solid. All right, so here we are waiting for this to come back down. So price is not really having any direction at all. If we get a sell or if price drops below here, that's perfectly fine. You can see here that the trend meter now turned red, which is great. This is now going to align with our overall direction of trend. We just need this to stay below here. If price can stay below opening price down here, then great. If that happens, then we can start looking for sells here. But in order for us to get that, we need a sell signal here on the 5, and we also need a sell signal here on the 10. So let's wait for this candle here to close. And then if it stays below opening price right here, we're going to move on from step 1 to step 2, because we currently have a bearish bias here on the 5-minute. We also have a bearish bias here on the 10-minute. We also have the confirmation here on the 1. So now that we have a bearish bias with regard to trend on the 10-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute, we can now move on to step 2. So step 1 over here, confirm trading the direction of overall trend. We have an overall bearish trend over here on these time frames. Now moving on to step 2, we need to confirm momentum on the 10-minute time frame. So since we have a bearish trend, we need to get a sell signal here on the 10-minute to confirm that momentum is coming downwards, right? So until we get a sell signal here, we can't move on to the next step. So that's going to be the next step here. Just waiting for the 10 to provide that sell signal. Once it provides a sell signal, we'll look for the sell signal here on the 5. And then once we have that, we can look for entry here on the 1-minute. So until we have that, there's just nothing for us to really roll with at the moment. Looking over here at NASDAQ, there is nothing here either. So pretty much all the indices are looking for a transfer in direction, right? We're looking for, we're looking for a sell here on US30. NASDAQ is doing the same thing. For here, you need a sell signal as well. Sell signal here. This here hasn't even shifted in trend, so you can change step one or move on from step one. S&P over here, same thing. So S&P here has the same exact setup as US30. S&P mirrors US30. So I personally don't even look at this because this is pretty much going to do the same thing US30 is going to do anyways. And looking over here at gold, gold is now making its way to the downside as well. So it looks like all of the indices here plus gold are trying to make their way to the downside, and they're almost there. So same with gold over here. We're looking for basically a sell signal on a 10. Once you get that, price will likely, continue dropping from that point. And I'm still in that position, Maddie, from yesterday. Not yesterday, from earlier this week, gold. It's going to let it run until it actually comes down. Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever come down that far, but we'll see. All right, back to US30. Again, price is shifting right back up. So looking at the trend meter down here, it's no longer, or it is kind of red. It's going between red and blue. So there's just no direction here. Let's see. Medusa, his 5-minute chart shows an invalid signal at 9:55 his time. So that's about 6:55 my time for an invalid. Yeah, that is weird. Yeah, if we're on the same chart data, I would expect ours to line up, but I mean, it's fine. If it closes it over here on the 5, then it's going to line up with yours. Well, it's not going to be on the same candle, but it'll confirm momentum. All right, so we got price dropping right here on the 1 minute. As you guys can see on the 1 minute over here, price is just having trouble getting past opening price. Opening price is right here at $630. But it looks like it's finally making its way below there. Or actually, no, it hasn't. Yeah, Maria said she thinks it will consolidate during the whole day. Yeah, and I agree with you too, Maria. There's just no direction here. Until we have that confirmation of a sell or confirmation of a buy, we can't really take anything. So, this is a good day to really work on your discipline, right? Because I can see a lot of people probably getting frustrated and wanting to get into a trade. So they'll probably take a trade at some point, as price bounces around here, but realistically, price is just ranging. So this is the worst time to enter a trade. But everyone's different. Some people they just want to get that last trade in for a Friday, and they're willing to take the risk to hop into one of these trades here. But realistically, this is where price is going. It's going back and forth. The range for current price it's 1,500 pips. So it's not a crazy amount, but it's a pretty big range. So, it is possible to take trades within the range. It's just not a good idea. All right, so we got this pending sell signal over here on the 5-minute. If this here closes, then this is perfect because this is exactly what we were waiting for. We also need a sell signal to close here on the 10-minute as well. So I'm hoping we get a sell signal on both. If we get that, then we can start looking for sells. However, if we don't get that, then we got to wait for it to actually happen, right? The 1 minute over here is pretty choppy, so I don't know if it'll actually close. You can see here that price kind of pushed up. So if it pushes up right here, we're probably not going to get that sell signal on the 5. But either way, we still need that sell signal on the 10. So going back to the requirements here, step 1, that's already confirmed. Step 2, we need a sell signal on the 10. So even if this here closes, this won't really matter because we can't move on to step 3, which will be confirmed here if it does close until we get it over here on the 10-minute for step 2. So as you guys can see here, this is why my strategies are super easy and simple to follow, because they're all mechanical, right? It's a step-by-step process. If this isn't met, then you can't move on to the next step. If this isn't met, you can't move on to the next step, even if this is already confirmed. So that's why it's key that you guys trade this way. You know, you guys should always have a systematic approach so that you take away all subjectivity. Subjectivity is really what causes a lot of people to lose because they don't have a real trading plan. Like you can't say, oh, if this like happens, then I might take the trade, right? It's like, no, if this happens, then I'm for sure going to take the trade. And then you'll get that confirmation of like which direction to really take the trade in. And that's how we have so much consistency here within our trading sessions, because we always follow the same thing every single day. So we got about 15 seconds left on this candle. If this 1 minute over here closes below the opening price, I think this here will close with the sell signal. But we need this here to actually close below here. If it doesn't close below opening price, I'm not expecting this to close either. So again, right here on the 5 minute, it failed to close. So no sell signal there. We're still looking for step 2 to be met though. So we got pending sell signal on the 10, pending sell signal here on the 5. We got 10 minutes on this candle though, so we have a long time. But looking over here at the 1 minute, price is now stuck between opening price and the sessions below here. So our next key target price point for price to break and close will be the sessions right here. That's what we're waiting for. All right, so that's what we're waiting for. Step 2, confirm momentum on the 10-minute time frame. We have a pending sell signal right here on the 10. So basically all we're waiting for is for this here to close. Once this here closes with that sell signal, then we can move on to the 5. But if this here closes, the 5 is probably already going to have it because there's one that's pending here too. This candle closes in 3 minutes and this candle here closes in 8 minutes. So this will probably close before the 10, but that's really all we're waiting for. Once we have that, we can look for entries here on the 1 minute. Fern is asking, you don't use order flow data anymore? I mean, you don't really need it, right? That's the thing too. So like with me specifically, I use it if I'm looking for a position, right? Because we don't have our requirements met here yet, Fern. So there's no need for to look at order flow. Because it doesn't matter whether price is going up or price is going down, right? Because you don't have an entry yet. If you have an entry, then yeah, from that point, you can look at order flow. Because if you have a sell entry and you're looking at order flow over here, you want a bunch of sell orders to come in, right? Because if you have a bunch of sell orders, it's going to push momentum in your direction. Right now, this is like pointless. Like there's no reason to look at it because you're going to get orders in both directions. You're going to get buys, you're going to get sells. But if you have no actual entry, you know, you're not just going to take a buy because there's a bunch of buy orders here, and you're not just going to take a sell because there's a bunch of sell orders. Order flow should be based on it should be used as a confluence based off your analysis that you've already made. Unless you're trading only off order flow, which, you know, I don't really recommend because you probably need like level 3 to look at that. Normal order flow, like you'll get a lot of fake outs because what happens is, and I've seen level 3 before and level 2 where you'll have like a big order just waiting right here, right? You'll have like, you can see how these orders are small. It's like 1 order, 2 order, 3 orders. You'll have like a 20 order down here. That's like a market maker. Like you'll have like 100 orders waiting right here. And what happens is a lot of people try to chase that because they see price coming down. And then as soon as price gets down to that point, they flip that order to a buy, and then price does the complete opposite and they manipulate on you. So manipulation happens on order flow. It happens on normal charts. You know, it just really depends on like what you're looking for. But I don't think it's necessary for like standalone trading. I use it as a confluence. So that's the main reason why I'm not really using it. For if we're looking for an entry, then yeah, I'll use it. But there's no entry for us to take yet. Let's see, question from Zanstra. Zanstra is asking, do you also look on bigger time frame? I'm up 8.300, targeting for 25. I'm assuming you're talking in like different currency, Sanstra. So we're scalping here. So the bigger time frames don't matter for a scalp, right? If you're looking for a 100 pip move, you're not going to look on like the 1 hour or 4 hour. I mean, I can look on it, but I'm not really looking to trade intraday. I mean, if I'm looking over here for Forex, yeah, obviously I'm going to use like the higher time frames, but for US30 trading live session, I don't trade on the higher time frames. Like my Forex trades over here, I take these on the 4 hour. So yeah, if I'm trading Forex, I'm looking on the 4 hour, 8 hour, and daily, right? That's the time frames I look at. If I'm scalping US30, I'm looking at the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute. Because when you scalp, your higher time frames don't matter. Like you don't really care what's happening on the hourly time frame. You don't care what's happening on the 4 hour, 2 hour, daily, etc. Because your trade's happening within seconds, right? We're in and out of the trade within a couple of seconds. So like, for example, the trade that we took yesterday, right? This one over here. So this trade closed out within 1 minute. Trade came up right there, closes out in a minute, make a difference whether it's bullish or bearish on our time frames. So we don't necessarily use it for scalping, but I do use it for Forex. And if I do decide to look at a longer direction for US30 or whatever indice, then I'll look on the higher time frame. But for me specifically, it's just not necessary for scalping. However, I do look at it on the 1 hour. So when I'm taking intraday trades on US30, I do look at this on the 1 hour. So I took a bunch of trades here for this intraday strategy that I apply. Basically, if I get a sell, or not that exactly, but if I get a sell signal like this right here, pretty much ride it to the next structure. And it's a set and forget for me specifically. Let's see, Princess is asking, do you use Bitcoin for confirmation as well? No, I don't. I've never used Bitcoin for confirmation. Bitcoin doesn't have a confluence with US30. So it doesn't move in the direction of US30. So I don't necessarily, I've never used Bitcoin for any type of confluence. Bitcoin doesn't have a confluence with any asset. I think the closest asset that mirrors US30 or has a similar direction would be your USD. But no, I've never used Bitcoin for any confluence. Bitcoin's like its own type of asset. So like you can't really pair that against anything. Like if you want to look at Bitcoin, you can't compare it with like any of the Forex pairs. You can't compare it with gold or any of that stuff. I know a lot of people try to use it as like, the opposite of like gold sometimes, but it really does, Bitcoin does whatever it wants. It's totally different. It doesn't have any, it doesn't rely on any other asset to determine its direction. Like say, for example, if you're trading USD JPY, these two are complete opposites, right? Because JPY or even USD CHF, this is a safe haven currency, the CHF. So if the dollar's not doing good, price will be going down. That's why you would peg these together with each other. And then if the dollar is doing good, CHF's not going to be strong, right? So that's why you can peg these together, like you can peg USD JPY. These are JPY and CHF are safe haven currency. So like whenever the dollar's not doing good, CHF will be strong. Same with JPY. If the dollar's not doing good, JPY will be strong. Same with gold, right? If the dollar's not doing good, gold can be pegged against the dollar because they move opposite of each other. Something that you probably wouldn't look at would be something like GBP CHF, right? That's why this ranges so much, because they're kind of similar. And you'll see a couple pairs that just don't line up well with each other. Yeah, Patrick said these days Bitcoin has confluence to a dumpster fire. Yeah, no, and I agree with you 100%. I don't even trade Bitcoin. I don't trade cryptos at all. The only crypto that I kind of traded for a while was XRP. That one I would hold it for longer holds, but I mean the entire crypto market is kind of like all over the place, so it's not one that I really mess with. All right, so going back to the requirements over here, guys, the 5 minute here still hasn't closed, nor has the 10. So we don't have a confirmation of momentum here yet. Looking over here on the trend, it's still bearish. So we're still looking for bearish confirmations over here on the 10 minute and 5 minute. I see a question from Zanstra. Zanstra is asking NASDAQ and S&P correlates with US30, right? So not NASDAQ, but yes to S&P. S&P does because it mirrors US30. So US30 over here is 30 stocks, right? It's the top 30 stocks, and then S&P is the top 50 stocks. So these over here mirror each other. They usually move alongside of each other. For NASDAQ, it's different because NASDAQ is the top 100 tech stocks. So the tech stocks don't necessarily correlate with the top 30 overall stocks, right? Because you'll have stocks here like, I don't know, let's see what stocks are in the NASDAQ. I got the list over here. Yeah, so on the NASDAQ over here, you'll have stocks like Adobe, Airbnb, Align, Amazon, Amgen, stuff like that, right? You'll have a couple of these in US30, so it does kind of move similar sometimes if like those specific stocks are moving in that direction. But as you can see over here for US30, there's just a couple of them, like Amgen, Apple, and that's about it, right? There's American Express here, which is not a NASDAQ. You'll have like McDonald's, JP Morgan, et cetera. And none of this stuff here aligns with NASDAQ, right? So that's why you wouldn't necessarily use these together. But if you look at S&P, a lot of them do line up with S&P. So S&P and US30, they do have confluences and they mirror each other, but NASDAQ doesn't. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. Another thing from Zanstri is asking, I understand next Wednesday CPI numbers are coming out. Will be huge impact. Yeah, I know. And I agree too. All the inflation news is going to have a huge impact on like all markets, Zanstra. Same with today. So this morning there was inflation news at 5:30. You can see the big spike that happened. Where was it spike at? Oh, I'm on the hour. Sorry. Yeah. So for this one over here, this was the inflation news. So similar to your CPI that you mentioned just right now, Zanstra, there was PPI today, right? Which is also inflation news. So the inflation news right here happened at 5:30, and you guys can see the big spike. It dropped down like 4,000 pips. So similar to what you're referring to next week on Wednesday, the same thing happened today. Typically, I don't trade around those times anyways. I don't trade around high impact news events. So I usually just sit out and see how price reacts to it. Price is still actually reacting to the news event from earlier. So price dropped right here. And that's why you see this correction back to the upside, but it hasn't really confirmed, right? The real correction is going to be when price reaches the pink line over here, which is the where price was before news happened. So similar to like your CPI, let me check the news for next week. We do have a lot of news next week, I believe, right? So looking at the calendar next week, we have nothing on Monday. It's just light impact news. Tuesday, we have CPI. That's what you were just referring to. I think it's on Tuesday, right? Not Wednesday. Yeah. So on Tuesday, we have CPI inflation news right there. And then on Wednesday, we have the FOMC statement. So I think we're probably gonna have Powell speaking on Wednesday. We have FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement, funds rate, press conference, unemployment change. So right here on Wednesday, they're going to be announcing data following the CPI news and where they expect the economy to be going. Thursday over here, we have another high impact news, core retail sales, unemployment claims, retail sales, etc. So next week is Fed week. I have a lot of news over here, pretty much Tuesday through Thursday, which is not necessarily a bad thing. We actually like news because it causes price to move, one way or the other. Unless, if we don't have news, price will just go sideways all day. Kind of like here. You can see how price was going sideways. News came up, spiked down, and now it's in a range, but it's just in a big range now. Yeah, no problems, Anstra. Kevin said, I think it may break out now. Yeah, where do you think it's going, Kevin? You think it's going up or it's going down? I still don't have that confirmation and like on my side, because price is like at the halfway mark right here. Price is at the halfway mark right here. So it still hasn't really confirmed for me yet. I think if price closes above here, Kevin, price will reach the next level, right? So if price gets to this point, the next level is going to be right here. That's my anticipation. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so Kevin's anticipating price to shoot to the upside. The confirmation that I'm looking for in order to confirm that is if price closes above this point here. Price closes above this point here, then I'm expecting price to correct back to the upside. And this is where price was before news yesterday. So yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. Zanstra said his prediction and thoughts will be a huge crash. I know prediction is wrong, but I'm at 14,512 target for 30,500 for a 12% correction. Zanstra, so are you talking about, let me check, because your prices are a little different. I think you might be talking about NASDAQ, right? No, 14,000. Sorry, I'm like trying to figure out which one you're talking about. Oh, you're in at 14,000. So you got in at 14,000 for US30? Yeah, I mean, if you're, oh, 34, okay. Gotcha. So you're expecting it to go to 30,000. That's a big drop. So for me personally, and this is just from my experience trading US30 over the years, Zanstra, I expect US30 to go up. The reason for that's because the historical data is for it to go up. So if you go over here and look at US30, I've been trading live for about 3 to 5 years now, here with you guys every day, and we've gone through a lot of cycles of the holidays, right? If you look at US30 over here, let me just take off a couple of things here. Historically, price goes up towards the end of the year. So right now we're on December 6th, right? If you want to go over here and look at a US30 last year, let's go to the daily over here. Let's turn off my indicators. All right, so if you look at US30 over here in 2021, I'm just going to go and just draw a box over here so that you guys can kind of focus on it. Okay, so this time last year, right? So today's December 9th. So I'm just going to draw a box right here. So you can see from the end, like towards the end of the year, price typically goes bullish, right? It does drop a little bit right here up until like December 17th. We're still a week away. So I don't really expect a big drop, but price will drop a little bit, but then eventually it corrects right back up and it just has a very bullish close to the end of the year, to January 1st. That's kind of what I expect happening for us here too. If you go back to 2020, same exact thing, right? You look over here, 2020. So December 2020, same exact thing. You can see the bullish push actually started happening in October. But if you look here towards the end of the year, so today is December 9th. So December 9th in December in 2020, price again had that big bullish push right here. It was more of a consolidation phase here in 2020 because it was COVID time, but it did have that bullish push. Going back to 2019, and this is just based off historical data, right? So again, right here in December, so December 3rd, big bullish push right here until the end of the year. So that's why I'm expecting price to be bullish, because it's always bullish towards the end of the year right here. They always try to close the year strong. So this right here, bullish in 2019. If you want to go back another year, 2018, it happens every year. 2018, right? This is COVID actually. So it did have that bullish push, but it happened like at the very end right here, like on December 24th off Christmas. This was like a different time though. Like COVID was like, market was moving totally differently. But if you go back like years and years and years, you'll see that towards the end of the year, it's always pretty bullish. This dump right here is based off like a lot of COVID stuff. But that's why I personally think price will be bullish towards the end of the year. But I mean, who knows? I could be wrong. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, from my experience, that's typically what I see from US30 specifically. But again, we're in a different type of year. We do have the recession coming or supposed to come. So that might cause price to drop a little bit, but I think at least till the end of the year, price will probably be bullish. Maybe next year it'll drop, but I mean, who really knows, right? Nice. Maddie caught a quick scalp for a buy. Nice, Maddie. Risky, but I'm glad you caught it. Still no direction here. Here, let me see. I'm gonna check your guys' chat over here real quick. Xander said, okay, that's interesting. Thanks for that point of view. Yeah, I just base it off historical data. I don't necessarily always follow it, but typically I use that like as an idea in the back of my head, like, okay, should I take a buy or should I take a sell? I don't take long-term positions for US30, so it doesn't really make a difference for me because I'm trading short-term for scalping. But for you, for example, if you're trading on the higher time frames, then yeah, something like that could happen. So here, I'll just take a look at US30 over here on the higher time frames. You can see here that it's very bullish. So I don't typically look at US30 like this on a specific time frame, but you can see how bullish it is right here. And I mean, everything here just looks pretty bullish overall for the long term. If price does continue up, my target price point is going to be the next high right here. And then after that, this one over here as well. But yeah, we really don't know if that's going to happen. A lot can happen from now until then. Yeah, Kevin said he doesn't like to predict. I like to participate. Yeah, same here. That's why I prefer to scalp versus intraday or swing trade, because I don't like to predict what's going to happen like, 10 days or a month from now, because a lot can change, especially with the inflation news that you mentioned. Zanstra, like the inflation news could just spike price in either direction. Like, for example, today this inflation news was positive, but price spiked down. So I don't really trust that. Of course, the correction here will happen. So I would probably, like, if I saw this drop over here, I probably could have or should have bought the dip, but I wasn't awake during that time. I was still sleeping. Man, what a whack Friday, right? There's nothing here for us to take, guys. Looking over here at the trend again has now shifted. So we don't have the sell direction here anymore. The reason for that is because the 5-minute here is actually bullish now. Or not bullish, but it's in a bullish trend. And the 1 minute here is bullish as well. So unfortunately, it does not look like we're going to have any entries for today, guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I mean, it just keeps attempting to get to the upside, but it doesn't have that push. Yeah, Kevin, see the markups that I have here? Price still hasn't reached that point. If price does get to this point right here, then I'm all for these buys. But until it does, it's just having issues getting past the sessions right here. This is the Asia low, this purple line that I have drawn out. And it's been having trouble getting past this for some time now. 1 attempt right there, failed. 2 attempts right there, failed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attempts right there, failed. So price has been trying to get past this point since 7 o'clock. So the 7 o'clock news happened right here. And then, I mean, nothing since, right? Price attempted to make its way past it, failed to get past that point, tested it again right here, tested it again right here. Now it's like tested it for basically like a quadruple top. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Kevin says he has his buy stops right there. Nice. Yeah, no. And I agree with your buy stops right there too. I might put some buy stops there myself because it's, yeah, Becky said zigzag Z. There's not really much going on. Lisa said she traded the retrace of the news. Nice. Yeah, so Lisa actually took the retrace of the news here earlier at 5:30. I would have done that too, Lisa. That's a smart move that you did because the news was positive. So I did figure price to likely correct back up from this point. Unfortunately, I was sleeping at this time, but if I was awake, I would have done the same thing if I was looking for something speculative. This also falls under a variation entry too. Yeah, Kevin said, here we go again for the sixth time. Let's see if the sellers push it right back down. Yeah, I mean, if you want, so for example, here, guys, if you guys are looking for an entry, you can use the order flow. Order flow will show you where price is, likely to go from here. So just looking at the order flow here, I'm looking for big numbers on one side or the other, right? There's no entry for me to take specifically, but looking at these numbers over here, if you see a lot of numbers just like flow in, then odds of it pushing that direction are very likely. Yeah, Ross said it looks like a double body a few minutes ago. Yeah, this one up here, Ross. Yeah, that was a V1 right there. Bounced directly off the sessions. Yeah, I know how you like to trade the variations. Variations are still good. It's just not something that I'm specifically looking for. But yeah, I did line up, especially if it bounces off structure like that. Odds of it hitting are like, probably very likely. And there's not very many orders here. So I don't think there's very many market makers or institutions really playing in the market right now. I don't think this is like near any type of critical price point. Because looking at the orders here, they're super small. So we have like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 contracts, but we don't have anything over 10 or anything over 11 or anything like that. So yeah, it's just going to be a matter of patience, but it's getting close to 8 o'clock, so I don't think I'm really going to have any entries for today. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to post them up. We have some profits here from Patrick. Patrick said ending the day and week with profit. So total profit for Patrick over here of 2,279 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. So definitely great work right there. Closing out the week strong. We've got CSUK over here, total profit of 5,976 for the day. CSUK's been taking a couple of his own trades. A couple of trades over here during the live session. He took some sells, took some buys. Took another sell right there and another buy. Total profit of about 6,000 for the day. Nice work, Sisu. We got Cameron over here. Total profit of 1,864. All wins, no losses. He has one buy over here that happened. Looks like he took the breakout, looks like. So that hit your full TP. And then he took some sells on the way back down for a partial TP. Total profit of about 2,000 for the day. Nice work, Cameron. So yeah, I mean, that's about it for right now, guys. Unless you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I was hoping to get at least one entry today, but it does not look like we're going to be able to get that. Yeah, because we only need 100 pips. Like, this is the move that we need, but there's just no moves here to take, fortunately. The direction here still hasn't been confirmed. 5 minute here is going sideways. 10 minutes going sideways. 1 minute here is ranging. See, we got some more profits here from Rashida. Rashida locking a total profit of 735 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. Yeah, great consistency there. All wins, no losses. Good way to close out the week for you there. We have Narith over here as well. Narith is currently up 738 for the day. Nice work, Narith. Yeah, you and Cameron are killing it. You guys did pretty good today for Friday. So there's no surprise here, guys. Like for Friday, it's hit or miss, right? Mondays and Fridays are the riskier days to trade. And they're risky because of the uncertainty of like people getting out of the market for the weekend. So like the problem with this here is if you start to trade later into the session on Friday, you're gonna run into some risky territory because you're gonna run into people closing out. You're gonna see increased volatility of people pulling out of their positions for the weekend. So you'll probably sell. You'll see a big sell off, and then you'll probably see people buying the dip. So you got people on both sides trying to obviously get in and out of the markets. Yeah, still nothing here. I mean, there's no overall direction here at all. I think the 1 minute's the worst because price is just going sideways over here. Let me go over here again and mark this stuff up. Whoops. I was just going to show you guys a consolidation phase right here. Let me show you on the other chart. Yeah, Kevin said, so let's see. Kevin said there are so big bottoming wicks on the higher time frame candles, and this really sucks. Yeah, no, it sucks a lot because I was hoping to catch at least one trade, but I'm not willing to risk anything. You know, we had a great week so far. We had literally no losses this week. How many trades did we have this week? Let me go check real quick. We had a pretty good amount from what I remember here. Yeah, for the week so far. So we had this odd CAD position that I called on, I believe, the 5th. I don't know if this was Sunday or Monday, but I called this for you guys. I think we took this on the live session, and then that hit full TP. So that was a great trade. I locked in 300 off that. We had this odd NZD position for a sell right here. This also hit full TP. And we had a pretty great week so far. We had this on Monday, I believe, US30, full TP right there. So we had straight wins this entire week. USD CHF, the one I just showed you guys, that one hit full TP as well. Odd CAD full TP, odd NZD full TP right there. Another trade here on the 7th, full TP right there. We had a lot of good wins. So, I mean, this week's been pretty solid so far. So I would recommend that if you guys are happy with your profits, I would just call it a week. And not risk it on Friday. I've seen a lot of people who make a lot of profit with me throughout the week, and then on Friday they just decide to YOLO their account and they end up blowing their account. So it's crazy. I mean, it's all trade psychology, right? You guys have to like understand that you need to have discipline with your trades. It's cool to take trades if you guys have some sort of bias in the market, or if you guys actually have a direction to take. But for today, there's no direction. As you guys can see, the 5-minute here is still bearish. The 10-minute here is still bearish, but the 1 minute over here is all over the place. You can see the trend meter below. You can see the trend meter below here. There's no specific color, right? If you look down below here on the bottom, it goes from red to green to now it's blue. When it's blue, this means that it's neutral. This is probably the worst time to enter trades because you can see that price might be preparing for a breakout. And you can see right here that price is literally just going sideways. There's like absolutely no direction here. Sideways movement and no confirmation. I mean, realistically, price can go either way. Sam's asking question, Sean, why do you include the breakout in the results if you don't take it? I include it when I do take it, Sam. So this one isn't included because I didn't take this one, but the ones that we've taken in the past couple of weeks, I have taken those. Not all of them. Like for the past couple of weeks, every breakout's been hitting. So if I counted every single breakout, we'd have like 5 breakouts, right? I think there was only like 1 or 2 that was counted last week because that's one that I took. So let's go over here real quick. So the results, like I think every breakout hit last week, right? But let's see, which ones did we count? We didn't count any breakouts last week. So they all hit last week, but I didn't count any of them. So which one are you referring to, Sam? I just want to make sure because we didn't count anything from last week here. This week it's not an account because we didn't take any. The week before that, I believe we did take. I took it with you guys. So let me go over here real quick. Week before that, let's see. I didn't count any breakouts the week before that either. So is there a specific one you're referring to, Sam? Because we don't typically count the breakouts. So for the past 2 weeks, no breakouts were counted, even though they did hit full TP. I didn't take any of them, so they didn't count. The week before that, Sam said, oh, I thought if you post it in the group, it'll be recorded. No, what you have to look for is the results at the end of the week. So at the end of the week, it's going to have all the trades here. So if you look for the past couple of weeks, there's been no trades here that have been taken for the breakout. So they're not recorded in any of the results. They're just posted in the group because they're to confirm that for the people who take them. Because what happens a lot of time is people will take the breakout when I mark it up here on the chart, but they don't actually close out of the position. They wait for me to post it in the group that it's hit TP before they close out of it. So that's why I posted the one today, but this one's not counting today because I didn't take it, right? But I haven't posted a breakout here in a long time. So, I mean, if there's an issue with the results at the end of the week, guys, just let me know because someone else handles the results. So if there's an error, I can fix that. You know, my main goal here is to be completely transparent with you guys. I only post the results of the trades that I actually take. I don't post anything extra, right? Because I don't need to post any fluff. Like all the trades that I take hit and they're taken here on the live. So I don't have to like squeeze in like random trades to like make it seem that I took more trades than I did. Because if you look at like last week's, we did pretty good. These are literally all the trades we took on the live. I even call the Forex trades. And I do call our losses too. So like, for example, on Monday or Sunday, actually, we had a GA trade and I do call the losses and they do count. So, you know, I'm trying to give you guys like a realistic idea as to like what you guys can get if you guys follow directions. Because I feel like a lot of people feel like there's not enough trades, but realistically, there's a lot of trades here that you guys can take. Like for last week, we took 1, 2, 3, 4 US30 trades. And then if you took even like a couple of them, we didn't have any losses. So you would have been perfectly fine. Yeah, no problem, Sam. You know, I just want to make sure that everyone gets that. Because I know if you guys are in other signal groups, I'm like, you know, I've been in the trading space for like 5 or 7 years now. We have a lot of people from other different trading groups. And I know what other people like, it's crazy and people fall for it all the time. I see people like, no, I was gonna call out the trading group, but I'm not gonna call them out. But if you just look on like YouTube, like it's crazy. Because I went into a rabbit hole like the past couple of days where I was on let me see if I can find it over here. Like it's kind of funny if you guys watch these. Let me see. Okay, so guys, if you guys want to see other people how they scam, just go to this right here. I'm not gonna call anybody out, but I found this video to be super funny. So go watch this Simply CB guy. He basically paid for all of like the most popular signals. He paid, and then he actually showed his results, which I think was like super interesting. And I know they do some like a lot of the times, a lot of signal callers, what they'll do is they'll call like multiple TPs, right? They'll have like one big move, and then they'll have like 3 or 4 TPs. And I used to do that too, but I didn't do it purposely because I would still hit our full TP. But you'll see a lot of people call a trade here. Like say, for example, let me go to my Euro USD position or USD CHF position. Oh, well, I don't have it here anymore. Well, actually, I had it marked up here. Let me go over here to the 4-hour. So it was this position right here, I believe. It was one of these here that was for a sell. But anyways, like whenever I call a trade, I just give you guys one TP now, right? Because I already know profit's going to hit. Like I already have an idea of as to where this trade is going to go. So I will typically have just one TP. And then you guys have the opportunity to make any changes as to like however you guys want to adjust it, right? Typically what happens is people will give you multiple TPs down here. The only reason I did that before was because people didn't know how to move their stop loss and profit. So I would put these TPs here. So when price reaches that point, you move your stop loss and profit. But what happens with a lot of people, a lot of these signal providers is they have a TP right here. And when price hits that, they consider the trade a win, even though it hasn't reached full TP. You guys have seen my new signals now that I do call. I only give you one TP because I already know where price is going. So I give you guys a full move, right? But what happens, yeah, for example, here, USD CHF, just one TP, one stop loss, because I know where the full move is going to be. You guys are welcome to move your stop loss and profit whenever you want to, but you guys don't have to, because I do expect it to hit full TP every single time. But yeah, if you guys watch that video from CB, Simply CB, it's crazy because he actually like documents all their trades, and it's like the results are like there's like people that play crazy amount for these guys' signals, and it's like they never hit, which that's their thing. I don't care what they're doing because I'm trading my own way. I don't take anybody's signals, so I know that the way I trade works, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. But it's crazy how people pay for signals and they just keep blowing accounts and they just keep funneling back into it. But yeah, let me see what Patrick mentioned. Patrick said there's a lot of traders, just like there is a lot of strategies within the K2 ecosystem, but there's there's difference between personalities on here, how you find the strategies that fit your own trading persona. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. So for me, I personally don't like to swing trade. Oh, damn, this big move came right here. Kevin, did you get into that entry right there? I know you had like some buy stops. Sorry. Just want to see how far is this right here. It's probably going to push up even more. But anyways, back to what I was saying over here. Yeah, I was just looking at it right now. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, guys, I provide like different strategies and different types of trading for you guys, depending on how you guys want to trade. But I I personally like scalping. So my trading style is scalping. That's why I personally like to trade this way. I make most of my money from scalping every day. But you can trade intraday. Like I have entries here that I call for you guys. I don't call them as much because I look for very quality entries. I don't just call every single trade that I see. But yeah, I mean, there's like, like Patrick said, the ecosystem of trading is very wide. You can be a swing trader, intraday trader, scalper like I am. It's really up to your own preference, however you guys want to trade. So yeah, I just saw that push up right there, Kevin. So I hope this pushes up to the next level over there. I think that'd be pretty solid. I was trying to see if I could speculate maybe one move here. But it's getting too late into the session. So it's already 8 o'clock for me over here. So I don't really see anything here that I specifically want to take. Nice. Kevin said he's up real big. Awesome. That's solid. No, I'm glad it hit for you. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find any specific entries here. Let me scroll up real quick. Rashida had a question. So Rashida said, hey, Sean, question. The momentum scalp it only is valid if the trend meter is in the direction of the trade on all time frames. So not specifically, but that's something that you kind of want to look for, Rashida. So like for me, I like to be very particular with my entries. So like in order for me to confirm the overall trend, there's like shortcuts you can take. So for example, let me see if I could find one here where it's not necessarily lined up with the trend meter, but on the pivots, it looks fine. Like you can't see it right here right now specifically, but you want to use the pivots in conjunction with the trend meter. So say, for example, let me just see if I could find something here. Say, for example, the 10-minute is bullish, right? Say the 10-minute is bullish, it's the trend meter is green over here. But say on the 1 minute over here that the trend meter is blue, but price is above the pivots. Like, let me see if I could find something over here. Like something like, okay, so this is at 352. Okay, so I'm just going to show you guys real quick, or I'm just going to use this for an example for Rashida. So like around 352. I mean, this still wouldn't be an entry, but I'm going to make up something right here just so like you can kind of have an idea of like what I'm referring to. So say the 10-minute is bullish or something right there, right? Say the 5 minutes bullish right there. And then you look over here on the 1 minute and you see an entry. I'm looking for like something that's like kind of like iffy, like super iffy, but it would still be applicable. I mean, a lot of times you're not going to find it, but let me see if I could find something here. Okay, like this is perfect. I mean, it's not perfect, but it fits criteria. So say, for example, right here, I know this isn't the actual chart, but say, for example, trend meter is green right here on the 10. I mean, it's kind of green, right? It just turned green on that candle, but price is above the pivots. Same with the 5 over here, price is above the pivots, trend meter is green. But here on the 1 minute, the trend meter is blue, but price is above the pivots, right? But you see an entry right here. I know it's not an actual entry, but if you see something like this and it looks bullish on the 5, like super bullish on the 10, and you get this entry right here, that'd be fine, right? Because you're just trying to confirm what the overall direction is. You can use whether the pivots or the trend meter. If you have both, you have a very strong confirmation. But if you just have the pivots, you have a confirmation of a bullish trend, but you just don't have that, like, that extra, right? Because if you have the trend meter down here, you're like, okay, if everything's green, this thing has to go up. But even though it's blue right here and you let it run, it still goes up like enough to hit your TP. Obviously, you should pull out right away, because if you don't, price can come right back down. But you can see here that you're kind of predicting that this is going to follow, because if it's bullish here on the 10 minute, it's bullish on the 5 minute, odds of it continuing further are, obviously very likely. So does that make sense, Rashida? I just want to make sure that there's, understanding there that you don't have to focus on the trend meter. The requirement here is just to confirm the overall direction, but you can use the pivots or trend meter. Sometimes it's not going to line up. So guys, I did take a speculative buy off this right here. Thanks, Kevin, for the heads up on that, area right there that you were looking for, because I did mark that up and your analysis lined up with mine with price going up. So I did take a speculative buy over here. So I did make profit off this trade. It's not going to count towards the results because there's no actual entry here. I don't recommend anybody do this unless you guys really have confidence in your position. I did, because Kevin's analysis lined up with my analysis of price getting down to the midway point over here and pushing up further. So that's the reason why I took this, and that's why I marked it up right here, because I wanted to see where my stop loss would be. I was like, okay, if stop loss is below here, I have enough space for me to hit my TP before it ever decides to come back down. So for me specifically, I took a small little trade here for profit. And I locked in some pretty good slippage. So I'll show you guys this right now as well. Nice. So I'll take a screenshot of my profits real quick. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat, and then I will I'll answer whatever question you guys have until we close out for the day. Let's see. Patrick said, super weird. I'm on CME data for YM like you, Sean, but what my 1 minute buy signal came up at 7:52, while it looks like yours came up about 8 minutes later. Tried refreshing the charts, and that contract change signal has not come up for me for the past couple of days either. That's weird. So, all right, Patrick's came up at 7:52, like way before mine. Let me try to refresh mine. Does anybody else have that issue? Because I think someone else mentioned that today too. I think Madhu, did you mention that? Oh, okay, Madhu said there's multiple YMs. So good thing that you guys mentioned that, because now I know myself. I didn't know that either, Madhu. So thanks for mentioning that. Okay, yeah. So Madhu was on YMZ earlier, and that's why he had a different signal, but I'm on YM1. I think YM1 is the main one. So if you type in YM right here, yeah, there's like different ones right here, but the main one that I'm using is YM1 because it's the contract. It's a continuous contract. So looking over here at the E-mini Dow, you can see it's continuous contract in front. So this one's always going to be the, the main one. I think, yeah, you and Patrick might have been on the other one. Patrick. Yeah, Patrick and Madhu. Yeah, no, thanks guys for mentioning that, because I did see this too. When me and Patrick saw the little button on the bottom, that little thing on the bottom thing, when you click on it, it actually goes to the different contract. So for me, I use YM1 because it's the continuous one. This one pretty much goes all year round. For YMZ, this will go between years. So it'll go between 2022 and then now we're towards the end of the year. So it's switching to 2023. And that's the reason why I stick to just this one here, because it just continues all year round. And it includes all the data. So let me just take a screenshot of my profits real quick, guys. These profits are not going to count towards the actual results for the week because it was not an actual entry. But I'm just going to show you guys what I locked in. from that one specifically. So yeah, no, we all worked as a team today. Kevin helped out with his analysis. It lined up with my analysis, and I was able to take that one trade that I was waiting for pretty much all session. Unfortunately, there was no official trades, which is fine. You're going to get days like this where you're not going to have official trades. The key thing is to not get greedy, because if you get greedy, you can end up in a really bad position really quickly. Slippage worked out in my favor pretty heavily right here. Show you guys right now. You see my MFF to see if they're different. There's like one that's different. Okay. Yeah, there's just one account here on my MFF that's different. And I'll take a screenshot of my profits for the week. It's been a great week, guys. No losses for the entire week with regard to Forex and with regard to US30. So hopefully every one of you guys had a great week too. If you guys just took the trades that we took on the live, and if you guys took my Forex signals, you guys should have been pretty solid for the week so far. It's good. All right, so let me post up my profits real quick in the group over here. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to post them up. Let's see. Thankfully, the slippage worked in my favor because I got over 1,000. I hate when slippage works against me and then I'm like at 800 profit, and then it kind of makes me want to take another trade, right? So here are my profits. Let me just screenshot my profits for the week as well. I don't know what happened with my accounts. The profits are like kind of all over the place. You'll see a big difference between my accounts over here. All right, so for that specific trade, you can see the green strip over here for my main account. I locked in 1,410. So that's what I locked in off this account right here. My second account, I locked in 1,510 right here. This is my FTMO copier. Here's my MFF number one, locked in a total profit of 1,410. MFF number two, 1,310. MFF number three, 1,410 right here. And then my TFF 1,400 right here, and then my personal account 390. So you can see all my accounts right here. You guys can see they're all different accounts. My main account right here locked in 1,410, 1,500 on my FTMO. My Henko trade over here, personal account locked in 36. MFF number one for 1410, 1410 off my MFF number two, 1310 off my MFF number three, and then my TFF 1,366. So I mean, it's been a pretty solid week so far, guys. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping this up shortly. Let me just see any other profits here from the group. Anelli over here as well, locked in a total profit of 693. Great work right there, Anelli. Full TP on that one. And then we got Kevin over here as well. Total profit of down 42,530 for the day. That's crazy. So nice work right there, Kevin. I know you caught that push to the upside, which you were waiting for him. And I think that might be about it right here. Kip over here as well. He's up 2,190 for the day. Nice work, Kip. And of course, my profits here as well. So pretty solid. I mean, all my accounts here add up. So like for the day, I'm up 1410, 1510, and patience paid off today. Just waiting for this one entry. 10, 1310. 256. Total profit of 8,460. Well, 8,452 for the day. And then for the week here, all my accounts locked in 5,225, 2880, 47, 2540, 2330, 2450, 3396. Total profit of 18,868 for the week. So not bad. No losses this entire week. So it's been a great week so far. Patrick over here with some more profits as well, currently up 675 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Yeah, so it looks like everyone here had a pretty good trading day. Overall for the trading week, no losses. On our live trading and signals. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not making Kevin profits over here, but I'm keeping up. Yeah, you know, I'm very risk averse. So the thing with me, guys, is I'm looking for like maybe 1 to 3 great trades each day, but I'm never looking to lose. Like I don't look for losses. Like whenever I take a trade, I know for sure that trade's going to hit. So whenever I do take a trade, you know, if you guys take the trade with me, odds of you hitting that TP are very likely. So you know, everyone has a different trading style. Some people are more risk averse like me, where you don't want to take too many trades. Some people want to take a bunch of trades. It's really up to your trading style, or like however you like to trade. But what I do recommend is, you know, just figure out the way that you like to trade and stick to it. The thing with me is I'm pretty consistent. I trade live every day, Monday through Friday. You know, I take trades, give analysis, show profits, everything. And it's just consistency, right? I do this pretty much every week. If you guys have been with me for, I don't know, years now, you guys have seen that I don't really get greedy. I kind of just take the trade, take my TP, and then I'm done for the day or done for the week. So, I mean, yeah, if you guys are new here and you guys want access to these strategies, these indicators, you guys have full access to them. Just go on the website, kodikaitrades.com right here. If you guys want to just go back and rewatch my live sessions, like say you missed the live session on Monday and you want to see where I made, you know, these profits on that day. If you want to go back to Monday and see how I made, you know, these trades here and locked in these profits, just go to the videos here or go to live actually. And then you can see my live session from there. I have about 3 or 5 years of live trading sessions here. So if you guys want to go back and rewatch them, feel free. But, you know, my goal here is to help you guys out. I make profit from trading. So it doesn't really make a difference for me if you guys want to be part of the community or not, because I'm still going to profit either way. But if you guys do want help from me and you guys want me to mentor you, you know, I'm here to help you guys out. But it's really up to you guys. You guys have to make that decision whether you want to be trading with us or not. But you guys are more than welcome to hang out on the YouTube as well. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Let's see. Dreamy said, nice man, thousands of dollars in a week, more than most people make in 2 months. Yeah, I mean, that's the key too, because, you know, I used to work a normal job just like you guys. Well, I guess a high paying normal job, I guess, when I was working as an attorney. But it's crazy because like I used to work as an attorney and I'd make like, you know, maybe like 150K a year. Now I can make that in a couple months. So that's the main reason why I quit my job. Now I don't really work. I just kind of trade with you guys here in the morning. I mentor when I have free time, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah, exactly. Kevin said he's way more risky than me. Plus he takes over 100 trades a day across all of his accounts. Yeah. So Kevin will take like 100 trades a day. I'll take like maybe, you know, 1 to 6 trades across all my accounts. And that's pretty much it. That's like the huge difference. That's why you'll see Kevin make like 100 times what I make. But that's cool. You know, I don't like taking that much risk. So if it works for you, you know, apply it that way. Question from a dude over here. He's asking, what are your thoughts on the next buy signal that comes up on the 1 minute? So let me go over here real quick and reanalyze that. So for right now, this one specifically, Madhu, I think you mentioned. Yes, you were talking about this one right here, right? So I personally would not have taken this buy right here because we don't have a buy signal here on the 5, unfortunately. So this entry over here came up at 816. There's a sell signal over here on the 5. So that wouldn't meet the criteria. Let me just go over the criteria again. Looking over here at step 1, confirm trading direction, confirm that you're trading in the direction of the overall trend. So looking over here on the 10, this is still bearish. This is bullish and this is bullish. So there's no overall direction of trend. So we can't really move on to the next step. But say, for example, if this was bullish, let's go down to the next step over here. We still don't, or we do have a buy signal here on the 10. So this might've been okay. But looking over here on the third step, confirm momentum on the 5-minute, we actually had a sell signal right here at the time of that buy signal. So that's why I probably wouldn't have taken it, Madhu, because this signal over here closed at like 8:10. So like this entry came up right here at 8:16. You wouldn't have a buy signal over here, so I wouldn't take it. Also, another red flag here would be the sessions. So that's just me being risk averse, right? Like, I just see a bunch of red flags here where this was a sell signal. And then also, I think the main thing that would have prevented me from wanting to take a trade right here was that it was like literally at the sessions, right? So looking at this, I mean, we could mark it up and see if it actually would have hit. I mean, it looks like it's still currently running, right? Actually would have hit TP. So again, right here, here's another example of like where I'm very risk averse. I analyze the trade fully before I take anything, and I make sure that price is actually going to hit my TP. So for this right here specifically, I wouldn't have taken it because I wouldn't have felt comfortable with it hitting. But if you guys did, I mean, you guys could have taken it, it would have been perfectly fine. Yeah, exactly, Madhu. Yeah, Kevin said he used to own a car dealership and grossed over 3 million a year, closed it to be a full-time trader. Yeah, no, I remember when you first joined, Kevin. I think you still had the dealership, right? That's crazy. But yeah, I'm sure, having a dealership like that, I'm sure it was stressful, lots of work, and you actually got out at a good time. It seems like a lot of the bubble is starting to close in on the used cars. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen Carvana is probably going to go bankrupt. That's pretty crazy. They used to buy cars without even like inspecting them, trying to flip them for a quick buck. Now they have all this inventory, and nobody's buying them. So, all right, guys, it's 8:20 right now. We went well over the 8 o'clock time limit for our training session. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me at sean@kodikaitrades.com. Or if you guys want to message me on Telegram, you can get a quicker response from me there. Again, if you guys are new here, if you guys want to learn these strategies or join our community, you can unlock your free access here on the website, kodikaitrades.com. And if you guys want to go on the YouTube and just vet me to see if I actually know what I'm doing, go ahead and go to the YouTube channel over here, go to the live session. I have years and years of live trading over here for you guys to watch. I never miss a day. I trade every single day. All my mentoring sessions are here as well if you guys want to see how I mentor people. Also, I did upload new videos to the course. So we have the support resistance strategy right here, high level momentum pivot scalp strategy. This is the one that we applied during the live session. This is what I apply for the signals. And then the momentum scalp strategy right here, which I apply during the live session as well. So if you guys want access to it, it's all completely free right here. Let's go on the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be uploading a lot of videos over the next couple of weeks. So just make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel so that when I do upload them, YouTube will email you and let you know that I've uploaded a new video. So, all right, guys, other than that, I think that's about it. Yeah, Kevin said he's been making money shorting Carvana on his TD account. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, you made the good move, Kevin. Now you're like trading in the morning and then you're pretty much free the rest of your day. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Monday for the next live session. And I'll probably talk to you guys before then if I see any Forex trades. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend and I'll see you guys then.